everybody, today we're going to be going over how to replace a spark arrestor. In the model we're going to be using an MS193T, great little climbing saw. Let's jump into it. So we'll go ahead and remove the cover, the nut loosened up here. This feature right here I really enjoy as far as this nut staying on there. I don't lose it out in the field. The other key thing is make sure that chain brake is off. It's not engaged. And get that off. If you struggle as far as getting that off, it's either the chain brake, usually it's the chain brake that's not on there, and then getting it back on, it's not lining up correctly. So we jump into the actual spark arrestor here. As you can see, this is where it's located. Okay, an actual muffler system. The key thing with these spark arrestors is you want to have them pretty much all the time when you're out in the field, especially if you're cutting in the woods, summertime. Just avoid you a ticket or end up starting a fire. So it just keeps that carbon buildup from coming out of there and landing on receptive fuel beds. So all I'm utilizing is just this little star wrench. Typical for even for the bigger saws. Go ahead and get that nut off there. Okay, set that off to the side. I usually use my little tray here where I have my magnetic. This little tuning screwdriver, just pop it up, pop your cover up, and this little rivet here just slides right in that little hole. Okay, so when you're lining it back up, it slides in and then drops down. Alright, nice and simple. So I just pull up on it. I'll set it off to the side. And there's our spring. Okay, that's the opening that goes into our muffler, comes out of our actual piston chamber in there. And this one's pretty clean. This is a newer saw, so that doesn't have a whole lot on there. But usually this thing is so caked up you can't even see it. The more you utilize it, the more you use them. If you're using the wrong fuel mixtures, if you're running your fuel a little too rich, you're going to have a lot more buildup in here. You can see some right along the edge here. See that? It's all carbon buildup. Okay. As you look into the actual piston chamber, into the muffler in there, you can see a lot more in there. But all this little spring is a barrier. Okay. It just sits right in there. Little spark arrestor. So as you're running your saw and you're getting more carbon buildup inside, that carbon buildup will end up heating up to the point where it's red hot. And if you don't got this barrier out, it's going to be coming out of your exhaust, out of your muffler. Okay, and if that thing's hot enough and it's landing out in the field on needles or grass or whatever it is, you're going to end up starting a fire. So that's where it's very important to have that spark arrestor on there. Okay, every model is a little bit different. We'll have some other models that we'll be showing, but same concept. That's what that little spring is for. It's just a barrier between that carbon buildup coming out. Later I'm also going to go through and show you how to take these mufflers apart, clean all that extra carbon buildup in there, and just another safety margin between you and certain fires. So once you get your new one on there, go ahead and grab this part of it here and put it into the actual hole here. Okay, so it lines up straight down, so it locks in, and then just drop it straight down. Okay, and it should just hold right there in place. Go ahead and grab your screw. Alright, you could either, this one's pretty neat because it actually has the ability to use a star wrench or a flathead. Okay, you can see the difference there. And like everything I do in every video that I show you guys, I do everything by hand. Get it to grab. That way I'm not stripping anything out. It's grabbed. Got my star wrench. Go ahead and tighten her down. The grab, and that's it. You know, you don't want to over tighten it either. You want to strip it out. Just make sure it's snug. It's not going to come out when you're running it, and you're set. Okay. At this point, that's all I'm going to show you. I'm not going to put the plate back on, but that's how you check for having a spark arrestor, changing out a spark arrestor, making sure it's in good working order. If this thing is bogging down on you, it's most likely because that thing is clogged out. You know, very rarely do you have any other issues with these saws. If it's bogging down, you're not having it, that's why. Okay, that's one of the key points to come and look at. Get it changed out, get it cleaned out. I'll have some other tips on how to actually clean that out. So you don't have to use a brand new one. You can actually clean it out in the field. I'll have some tips on that as well. Thank you for watching, and I'd ask you to subscribe. Let us know if there's any other videos that you'd like to see, any particular issues, problems, or just give us good feedback. Let us know how we're doing. Thank you.